Namaste. I greet you in love and light and welcome to this little short video on why we should practice Eka Pada Kapotasana, the one-legged pigeon posture. So often due to our lifestyle, we end up with tight hips and a lower lumbar region. And this could either because we spend a lot of time sitting, or we actually are runners, cyclists, or if you have hip injuries. So what actually happens is the muscles in the front of the pelvis, hip flexors, iliopsoas, and the rectus femoris tighten up and shorten, which will influence our pelvis alignment and mobility. Tight, shortened hip flexors will pull the pelvis forward into a forward tilt, which will have an effect on the whole body alignment, and our proprioceptors, which influence our stability during walking and running, which in turn will have even a further influence on our whole spine because it gets the whole spine moving. So it helps to stretch out. So why we do the posture, it helps to stretch out those muscles, the hip flexors. It actually increases the outward external rotation of the femur and the hip socket, and it establishes or re-establishes a healthy lumbar curve and stabilizes the pelvis. It reduces tension in the front of the torso, so it's going to open up the lower torso, up to the upper chest, right up into the collarbones, and which is going to encourage an expansion in the rib cage. Not only does it say get the whole spine moving, it also is going to help pump that spinal cerebral fluid. Please practice always at the level that you are, because you can overstretch if the body is not yet able to do the posture correctly. There are always alternatives, and you could either do the reclined pigeon, you could actually go into a pigeon on a chair. Remember, the pigeon posture, the one-legged pigeon posture, is quite an advanced posture. And if you follow the video, that you'll find a link. It's a class to a 60-minute class practice where we'll actually do many alternatives so that you can open up, slowly work on those hip flexors. It's also quite nice is we actually, when you are working with the Eka Pada, the one-legged pigeon posture, you are also working into the base chakra, which holds a huge amount of emotions in this, where the perineum is, behind the back of the scrotum. And it has to do with your survival instincts. Fear, a sense of being stuck, anxiety, where is my next meal coming from? Do I have a roof over my head? Am I actually even here? And sometimes we are not even able to move forward. So it's always nice to have a mantra and an affirmation. And here is one that I took from Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Life. And I like to quote her: I am in perfect balance. I move forward in life with ease and joy at every age. And here, Anodea, Judith, in her book, she also writes about unfolding the petals of the base chakra, and how one of the greatest demons of the base chakra is actually fear, that sense of survival. And you need to learn to ground and root yourself. And how during your lifetime you are able to redo this time and time again. And that you need to have that nourishment. So if you are rooted, your base chakra is not built in sand. So all the rest of the chakras are going to be steady and stable and strong. And often when you leave home, you actually get your own flat, you start feeding yourself, you actually become much more rooted and grounded, which is going to stabilize the chakras. So even if you had a very shaky beginning, because this base chakra actually kicks in in utero days, from your womb all the way to 12 months. So by using a simple posture, like the one-legged pigeon posture, you are tapping right into, not only on the physical body, which is very much linked to your base chakra, but you are opening up and moving and gently easing. That's why in my classes, I never force the hips, because we are working with deep, deep-seated emotions. So I'm just going to show you one little section of the pigeon posture as far as I can do it. So I'm going to take it from the down dog. Like I say, you can do the whole practice on my video, but I'm going to come from my down dog. So here I'm in the down dog. I'm going to draw my right knee in towards my chest, and I'm going to lift the leg up, and here I'm opening already into the pelvis. Coming forward, right knee between hands, drop into. Now here I rotate onto my right buttocks. My back knee is bent. This might be enough of a pigeon posture. It's already opening into those hip flexors. If you are comfortable, you could bring yourself over your front shin bone. Here you are getting right into the crease of that hip. If you are if you go, that's fine, you could stay here for a few breaths. You could bring yourself up and you could rotate, taking it slightly deeper. Now you're going to extend your back leg, straighten the leg, rest on the big toe. You could stay here, really nice here. If you were comfortable, you could walk this right foot up ever so slightly, and then you would rotate onto the hip bone, onto the heel. You're going to keep this bottom off the floor. If you are comfortable here, you bring yourself into a reclined pigeon. You might even be able to extend the arms out in front of you. The aim is to keep the hip bone, my left hip bone, onto that heel. Maybe you could bring your foot up a little higher, but you are still getting that huge stretch into those hip flexors. Yes, you're getting a lovely stretch into the right buttocks as well. Now if you go, well, this is fine, I can manage this one, stay for a few breaths. You could bring yourself all the way up, maybe onto your fingertips. Look up to the ceiling. Stretch into this. Now, if you want to, drop onto your right buttocks. Once again, you bend your left knee. If you can, take hold of the foot. Support yourself with your right hand. If from here, you can take your foot in towards your crook of your arm, of your left arm. If you're comfortable here, you are watching what's happening into that hip flexor. If you are comfortable here, you lift the arm up Take hold of the hands, look up to the ceiling, and breathe. Tell the hip to let go. Stay for a few breaths. I'm turning so that you can see it on this side. It is a huge stretch. Take it easy. Open up, breathe. If you can take it higher, this is as far as my body goes. But if you want to take it further, you would roll back, go back into your pigeon posture, bend your back knee, just as we just did a moment ago, and lift the arms up over your head, and the aim is to try and take hold of your back foot. Like I say, it is a very advanced practice. Here you would change, go over to the second side. We're not going to do that. To close up, always close up if you've opened. As you need to counterpose it, rest in a child or in your frog pose with your knees open and your big toes crossed. Trusting that has just opened up. I will practice off camera on the other side. If that has just opened up a little bit more into the pigeon posture for you, like I say, there is a class link to the bottom of this video. If you like what we are a little channel, so in South Africa, in Elgin, South Africa. So if you like, please subscribe. From my heart, namaste.